If you are using this, I assume you got into Google Classroom. So I just wanted to give you an explanation verbally on what's expected of you if you're going to do it on Google Classroom. So this assignment, we're doing a different portion of math in the home. So we have designed a floor plan, and now we're going to look at actually what would be called staging it. So here it gives you some instructions. Main part of these instructions are that you are going to be designing or decorating a living room that should be 400 square feet. But in order for there to be some variety, you are going to choose the two dimensions that would give you an area of 400 square feet. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. There are 10 pieces of furniture that are on this in these Google slides for you, but you will need to choose 5 of them. And then I'll kind of go through the rest of the instructions. When you finish, you're going to need to answer this question right here. How much of your living room floor is not covered by your furniture pieces? If you, in your design, stack or overlap your furniture pieces, that is okay. But for the purpose of this question, assume that none of them are overlapping. Gives you a hint here. So when you're done with yours, you should just be able to type your answer here. So click there and type your answer. The next slide shows where your actual living room. So this is kind of a blank slate. Once again, you can see what shape it is. The area is 400 square feet. The dimensions are up to you. So right here, you need to type in your width of your room and your length of your room. I don't care what you put here and here, as long as that would come together to give you an area of 400 square feet. So when you're ready, you would click your cursor there and type your number and type your number there. But make sure if you substituted those numbers into the formula for the area of this shape, it would equal 400. Okay, going to the next slide. These are your furniture pieces. So what you are going to do, so just kind of real quick, there are 2 rugs. You can have a rug, you can have 2 rugs, you can have no rugs. That's up to you. You have 2 chairs to choose from, 2 coffee tables or tables that would go close to your sofa typically, 2 TV stands, and 2 sofas to choose from. Once again, it's 5 of your choice. So there's no right or wrong. It has the dimensions to it, and that will be important for the next thing that you're going to do. You do not have to take these with you to slide 2, which was your floor plan. So let's just say, let me just kind of give you an example here. I wanted to choose this rug right here. I can click on it. I believe the way you would do this is the same as the way I would do it. You would right click. I can copy that. I can come back to slide 2 and paste it. And you're you're welcome to change this to fit your space. So you're welcome to make that bigger, smaller. You're welcome to turn it to fit your space however you would like. So if I was going to choose this rug, that's kind of how I would move the furniture. I would copy and paste it to the next slide, or to slide number 2. So I'm going to choose 5 of these pieces, and I'm going to design this room however I would like. You're welcome to choose more, but the requirement is 5. So if you have any questions there, then you are welcome to ask your teacher, or maybe even reread the instructions, and they may help. Moving on to the next part, the part that you have to actually fill out. So here, this is just a table. So once again, you have an area of 400 square feet. That's your living room. So whatever you put on slide 1, you would type here. So whatever your dimensions were. Once again, your teacher does not care what those are, as long as that would give you an area of 400. Right here, you're going to choose from this column here. Here are the 10 pieces of furniture that are on the previous slide. So whichever 5 you chose, if you chose more, that's fine, but you only need to put 5 here. You can just click and you can copy and paste like you did before, or you can click and drag it there. It doesn't matter to us. But let's say you chose the darker table. I'm not going to necessarily do the correct answers here. Then I would look at the previous slide to see what the dimensions of the darker table were, and I would choose that. Let's just say this was the darker table. It may or may not be. I would put those there. And then if I was going to multiply those together to calculate the area, let's just say this was the area. It's not looking at those numbers. I would click and drag that here. So when your teacher looks at yours that you've done, they're just going to make sure that what you have here in these 5 boxes matches your design here. They're going to make sure that the dimensions you have here match the dimensions from here. And they're going to make sure that your area matches what you put here. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to be doing on this slide. I want to go back here just to clarify real quick. This is the amount of space that these will take up on the floor. So some of these are 3 dimensions, or 3D figures. So like for instance, this chair, it does have a height, but that's not actually going to be touching the floor. So we're only looking at the part that's going to be touching the floor to figure out how much floor space that would take up. So on this one here, this may look like the height of the table. It's actually not. It's the depth of going back. So don't let these confuse you. This is not the height of the table. It's the depth, how far back it's going. So that's what you're doing. That's what those numbers represent. So to give you an example, here is a partially filled in table. I didn't want to give you any answers. Here's a room that has 5 pieces of furniture. And that's it. So you would need to click and drag these to match what you did here. And then when you finish, you're going to take the 5 objects that you did here, figure out together how much floor space or how much area those objects would take up together. And you would figure out how much of your living room floor is not covered by the furniture pieces, and you would type that answer there. And then you would submit that back to your teacher on Google Classroom. If you have any questions, once again, ask your teacher, and we are all happy to help you.